Hello guys, this is Vysh. So the episode 18, November 20 editorial, and today is a Saturday. So Saturday, you know that one side of the editorial will not be useful for us because it will be ground zero. Okay, ground zero is like a page where they discuss one issue in detail. Okay, issue means a case study kind of thing. So for essay and all, you can read it, but for exam UPSC sake, it is very less relevant. Okay, so here it is about that Mundra port, in Gujarat, some 3,000 kilogram of some drugs were seized, and then the address on that was like a white color paper was there in which some shipping company address was there, and that address was routed to Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so in a local household, so that linkage and all they're discussing like what happened and all. So this case by case, you don't need it. Okay, you just need to generally know the things and all that you will study in other test series and other lectures. So this article is not of relevance. And here, if you see, these two articles are the farm laws, three farm laws being repealed. So these two combinedly, I will explain to you. This will be the longest thing which we are going to explain today. The three farm laws, what it is, what were the amendments, and what is going to be the future of it. That we'll discuss. Then here, if you see error corrected, okay, High Court has given a very idiotic kind of judgment, which the Supreme Court has now corrected. Okay, this is about child abuse and child molestation. So this also is important. POCSO Act, I will tell you. Okay, so this too is very important. Then this one article is not important, but as a homework, a lot of static things you can go and study. This is about the NPA issue and the bank, how they resolve it and all. We have the Surface Act, we have the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, IBC. So many things were coming after since the 90s when Narasimha Committee was there. So many things are theory. Okay, that already in our economics lectures which are there in channel we have discussed, and also in the test series everything is in detail covered. Okay, so this article is about arrest of an SBI ex chairman or someone. So that article is not important. Okay, but I will tell you what all the static things which you have to cover. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. And the yesterday's and the day before yesterday's views are very less. So if you have not seen, go and watch. Okay, the 17th and 18th and 19th, I think. Okay, the date November 19th. These have very less views. If you are going to continue like this, then we are going to stop it. Please go and like and comment, because that is the way we understand that you really need the future episodes. Okay, else Monday onwards we will not be doing this. And again, contact us in WhatsApp and YouTube or Instagram, Telegram, everywhere our presence is there now. So please contact us, because all the teachers are waiting for your feedback. Only based on that we can decide what is to be continued. Okay, and all these are part of free courses. Even in Vysh courses, the subscriber is not increasing. If we shut down this, then later you will only regret, because after the exam we always show you like questions comes directly from these videos. Okay, so please see to it that you give your feedback and then let us know what are your queries. And these are the frequent asked queries. So without reading this, don't ask me any query on WhatsApp or email. Okay, because we don't like repeating the same thing which you have told it 10 times to you. So first article, farm laws repealed. So this is the front page also. The same thing in 2-3 pages. It's full about farm laws, because it's a major thing which people do not expect also all of a sudden, because usually BJP government, Modi government doesn't repeal or take back anything. Okay, because people had shown disinterest in many other schemes also, because the way it is implemented, or maybe the people have not understood what it is for, or maybe they are misguided. It can be anything. Okay, so whatever happened, nothing has been repealed till date in this 6 years or 7 years of governance by Modi government. So this one, he has apologized, like not telling like the scheme is bad or something. He has told like we were not able to convince the farmers, we are not able to tell you like how beneficial it is for you, or maybe whatever you got misguided, we could not bring you back to the picture. So that is why. So but there are various other reasons also. Main thing is that it was not done in a proper constitutional way. It was done through an ordinance, and much discussion did not happen in parliament. That is why opposition were also not very happy. Okay, else if you see the act and all, it is all same model act which was in drafting since 2003. It is not like the Modi government introduced something new. The same thing which was not getting implemented, finally they forcefully implemented. So that did not go well with the people or the protesters whoever were there. Okay, so if you see September 15, 2020, the three farm bills were passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha by a voice vote. Okay, then again this protest started in September 25. Then it like people get on added. Okay, different political parties gave support. Then even it went globally, and outside India also a lot of people were protesting and support happened. So clashes, and then people died also. Some farmers were thrown out, and some were declared anti-national. So many things happened. So it was all a very ugly way this was going on. Okay, compared to CAA or NRC and all, this was even more violent. Okay, because a lot of middlemen and all were there in the Punjab Haryana area, especially where the farming and mandi system is very huge. This protest was very heavy. Okay, so government could not control it, and finally even Supreme Court told that people have the right to protest, people can do whatever, but they should not continuously block the road and all. So these things were going on. Okay, finally, so Prime Minister has told like we are repealing these bills, because the people did not want any modification, because government had in first or second meeting told that we are ready to modify it. If you want MSP is already there. So everything was ready, but these people did not want any modification. They want to completely repeal it. So if they wanted to repeal, it is done. Okay, now it is repealed. So now we'll see what are the act. Okay, the three laws are this: names first you have to by heart, because this you have to write exactly like this when you write an answer. Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020. Okay, meaning farmers produce their trade and commerce. Okay, for that you have to promote and facilitate. So promotion and facilitation. So like that, if this name, if you know, then writing explanation for it is again easy. Okay, now the same thing, your trade is facilitated. Now you have to have a price assurance. So we have a second act. Okay, this is Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act. Okay, and in bracket it's like empowerment and protection. Okay, meaning now you are empowering and protecting those farmers to get the proper prices. Okay, so this is the two act, which is new act. So that's why it's written Act 2020. But this one, if you see, it is Essential Commodities Amendment Act, meaning we already had from 1955 an Essential Commodity Act. Now we have amended it. So it's a existing act which is amended, but these two are new act. Okay. And if you see here, apologize to nation, says government could not convince a section of farmers. Then again, told like these are actually beneficial for small farmers, but people could not understand its true meaning. Okay, and in the winter session which is coming in, okay, you should know like we have this budget session, we have the monsoon session, we have the winter session. Okay, BMW. These are three types of sessions we have in the parliament. So winter session will happen now in November 29. That time they will officially legally repeal it. Okay, now the three act in quick pointers I'll tell you. First one, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020. Okay, by this time the name I hope you have been like by hearted. Okay, the act provides the farmers the freedom of choice related to sale and purchase of the produce. The farmers will not be charged any cess or levy for sale of their produce under this act. Further, there will be a separate dispute resolution mechanism for the farmers. It promotes barrier-free intrastate and interstate commerce outside the physical premises of the market notified under state APMC. So you should know there is something called agriculture produce markets, okay, APMC, or the mandi system which we have, okay, which we had since long time. So people, the farmers, they have to, like suppose farm is here, okay, farmers have to take all their produce to the mandi, and there these middlemen will be there, and through them only sale can happen. Okay, but now generally with these three act which is brought in, what they are trying to do is they don't have to forcefully go to the mandi. You can go there also. Mandi system is not shut down. That is there, but they can also go to any private people. Okay, like suppose like a Reliance group or any Tata related, any Big Bazaar kind of group. Anybody can tie up with the farmers, and they will have something called contract farming. Okay, like we will take all your stock. Okay, you plant like brinjals or bananas or mangoes or anything. We will have a contract signed. Like whenever it is ready, we will buy all that in advance. So in mandi it goes, it has to be bargained, and it's like there is no other option. You have to go through that, and whatever these mandi people decide, that sale only you can do. But if you go through this private route, you can go for a higher price. Okay, because rich people are all setting up these markets, supermarkets kind of thing. Every brand, every MNC is starting supermarkets now, and also delivery also. If you would have seen even in Flipkart and all, now we have this instant delivery. Okay, Swiggy, Zomato and all. It's not just the food and the packet items. It is like even vegetables and all. Instamart you would have heard. Okay, Instamart. So everyone are now big corporate companies are starting the delivery, especially when this lockdown came. They are delivering. If in 30 minutes and 60 minutes they will deliver you vegetables, even tea powder, anything. So this and all from the farms directly. If these people buy only, then they can give through these new platforms. Okay, so there was a huge potential, and even in outside countries, contract farming is a big thing. Okay, in USA and all, it's complete contract farming. Okay, because they look only profit. So that was the thing, but it was not presented properly, the schemes, and it was not understood by the people properly, and also the way it was introduced, it was not right. Okay, the government should have even discussed more with the states, and through the Punjab, Haryana governments and all, it should have gone through before even implementing it. So that forceful implementation did not go well. Okay, so this open choice of farmer was there, and one India, one agriculture market, meaning anybody can sell anywhere. You don't have to sell through your specific mandi. This was the intention. Okay, so intentions were always true, but the method was wrong. So second one, if you see, Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020. So again, this is as I told, for price assurance. So you can enter into agreements, farming agreements with whom? With processors, with wholesalers, with aggregators, large retailers, exporters, everyone on a level playing field without any fear of exploitation. Meaning it's not now limited to mandi system. You can go and sell it anywhere. Okay, it's not mandatory. It's your choice. You can sell it there or sell it in the mandi. Okay. Now transfer the risk of market unpredictability from the farmer to the sponsor. Okay, because the sponsor who will enter into this thing, they will in advance itself have a contract with them. So they are forced to now legally buy all the things, no matter the price go up or down. Okay, so it's the risk is now transferred to the sponsor instead of the farmer. That was the intention of this. Okay, so this legislation which act as a catalyst to attract private sector investment. Okay, because then private sector will build this supply chain, the cold storage, the warehouses, because government and all cannot do this. Okay, if you see wherever, if you take a developed country, whether it is USA, whether it is Japan, whether it is South Korea, everywhere they are too much developed. Or you see in movies and all, whenever you see a USA or a London or a New York street, you feel like, okay, why is India not like this? Why? Because all these places capitalism is ruling. Okay, capitalism is the one which can bring you that kind of development. If you are taking the mixed economy system, we'll have all the democracy, we'll have all these things. Okay, but capitalism is always needed. Okay, mixed economy also leaning towards socialism and the market type. Okay, you have to lean little bit towards capitalism. Only then this make in India, digital India, everything will get success, because fund is always there with the private sector. Okay, so that again, as I told, people are not ready for that, and it is not in going in a good terms. Okay, so here if you see, farmers will engage in direct marketing, thereby eliminating intermediaries. Okay, whoever in the middle is taking that extra tax, cess and all, and not giving proper price to the farmers, that can be eliminated. This was the intention of the second scheme. Now the third one, you should know, this is already existing scheme. Okay, there is an Essential Commodity Act which is enacted in 1955. Okay, this is actually, if you understand, the name itself is like very easy, essential commodity. Okay, so this is a, like, suppose, as I told, there is a private sector thing, or there is a people who are selling something, they will in their go down, like potatoes, they will simply store it. Okay, and they will not sell it, because if you keep storing, demand will increase. Okay, people will not be able to do, and supply will get over. Everything is stocked here. Now demand is increased, so then they will decide, okay, instead of 10 rupees, I will sell it 100 rupees. Okay, because now there is no option, people will run towards this no matter what is the price. So that hoarding used to happen. So to avoid that hoarding and overpricing, inflation, forced inflation, this Essential Commodity Act was brought, meaning some of the things will be declared as essential goods, like food stuff, drugs, fuel. If you see, items are listed here: drugs, fertilizers, pulses, edible oils, petroleum, all these are under this. That also center will decide. Center will put these commodities into a list called essential commodity list. After that, they will tell, like, these things are essential things, so we will decide a minimum support price. So everything is under control. Now you cannot decide whatever price you like. Okay, you cannot decide whatever price you like, and there is a stock limit also, like more than this much kilogram or this much ton you cannot store in a particular season, this much timing. So everything is under control if you bring it under Essential Commodity Act. Okay, but this will be not allowing the private people to build warehouses and this thing. Okay, the entrepreneurial people is not happy with this. So to support the previous two laws, this was amended now, telling, like, now forcefully this much will not be there, mean the regulation on all these things will be reduced. Okay, so this also did not go well with the people. Okay, so if you see here, some of the factors responsible for less entrepreneurial spirit is this only, this Essential Commodity Act, which is already there in our country. Okay, because India, we know we are surplus in most of the things, in banana, mango, lemon, many things we are surplus, but still the farmers are not getting the proper prices, and there is lack of investment in cold storage, processing, export. So to enhance the private sector and then make them feel like, okay, now these are not under essential commodity, we can do a lot of investment. For that, this was amended. Okay, so after amendment, if you see, deregulation of the commodities, all these cereals, edible oils, everything is now deregulated. It's coming out of the list. Okay, so this will lessen the fear of private investors of excessive regulatory interference. Okay, so limits under this ECA will be imposed only in exceptional circumstances. Okay, earlier it was like essentially many things were under ECA. Okay, but now unless there is a natural calamity or some extraordinary price rise or war or famine, some extraordinary condition, only then the things will be listed under Essential Commodity Act. Okay, now if you see in the pandemic time, actually even the mask and sanitizer was initially under this. Okay, later by July or something they removed it. Earlier even that was brought, because so that people don't stock it or people don't simply forcefully increase the inflation for it. Even mask and sanitizer was under Essential Commodity Act. Okay, so now the amendment is allowing to having a freedom to produce, hold, move, distribute, supply, everything. Okay, so that private people will find interest in agriculture sector and then go and put lot of investment in cold storage and modernization of the supply food chain. Okay, and this will help both the farmers and consumer. Okay, and create a competitive market environment and also prevent wastage of agri produce. Okay, so it is considered as a step towards transformation of agriculture and raising farmers' income. So these are the three act. This is the static part, and it is not written in your Hindu. We have taught you because this is what you have to learn first. Okay, now we'll go into the articles. The two articles are there. First article, if you see, it is told like Modi has done the right thing by repeal of these three laws. Okay, because the laws actually sought to recognize India's agriculture sector more in accordance with the principles of market economy. Okay, meaning market economy is what? It is driven by supply and demand. Okay, and government will have no interference. Okay, so this was what was intended through the schemes. Okay, so market economy, if you see, is an economic system where two forces known as supply and demand direct the production of goods and services. Okay, they are not controlled by a central authority like a government and are instead based on voluntary exchange. Okay, based on the demand and supply, market economy is designed, and that is what was intended through the three farm laws. Okay. Now, this would have redesigned the country's food procurement and distributing mechanisms. Okay, and fears were there, as I told, undemocratic manner in which these laws were brought. Okay, because through ordinance, through a voice vote, without any much deliberation or consultation with the state, this was introduced. That is the first major reason. Okay, and now when it's repealed, one talk is that because the elections are nearing. Okay, because the farmers from Punjab and Uttar Pradesh were protesting. You know, in I think 2022 around March month or 5th month, May month, this elections will be there. So maybe to please them or appease them, this is done. That is also a talk. Okay, so in public demand, Modi has shown flexibility and realism. Okay, that this is practical now to remove it because people are anyway not happy and people are on the road since more than 1 year, and it is simply causing issues to everyone. Okay, so it is better for them to take it off, and they have Modi has requested withdraw the protest also and show a more flexible approach. Okay, so that is what has been told. Okay, because some people already told like we are still not happy, we will wait till the winter session in parliament, and then when legally it is removed, only then we'll stop the protest. Okay, that means again for 2-3 weeks more this protest is going to happen. Okay, now flexibility is not a bad trait, it has to happen. People have to understand each other. Okay, and the agitators, if you know, they were socially dominant, economically, politically, and all powerful backing was there. Globally they had support, newspapers were supporting them, so they had a very good thing. So the government could not handle it. It was difficult to handle the protest. Okay, you would have seen the death and the burning and the blockade, everything you would have seen in the last 1 year. Okay, even in the corona pandemic, all are standing there without mask or without everything. It was a total chaos there. Okay, so now a consultative decision making would always be more sustainable, meaning, as I told, they have to discuss with everyone. Okay, and also their repeal does not invalidate the urgent case for reforms. Okay, now you repealed it, that does not mean there is no need for reforms. We actually need reforms because, as I told, we have surplus in most of the things, but we are not able to get the proper profits. Okay, so we need reforms, but that has to be done in a proper democratic way. Okay, so now, as I told, the reforms will cause some realignment of politics. This is not important for your exam, but as I told, the assembly elections are all these are coming. So maybe you will see some people are leaving Congress and going to BJP, BJP and leaving to Congress, or Punjab has some other idea, UP has some other idea. Many things are going to happen because now this repealment has happened. Okay, now some more detailing about the history of this act and all. So mandis, okay, mandis are the things which is the which is being attacked by these laws. Okay, APMC Act, Agriculture Produce Market Act, which is passed by state assemblies. It is argued that India need to diversify its cropping pattern into export oriented and high value crops. Mandis need to give way to private markets, future markets, and contract farming. Okay, this is the intention. This everybody agrees. We need this, but the way it was introduced was not correct. Okay, so here if you see the mandis, okay, they discriminate by not allowing them to interact directly with big corporate buyers and exporters, because farmers have no option. Even if somebody gives 10 times the price, they have no option now because the APMC Act is given priority. Okay, so contract farming has to be popularized in India, and the Essential Commodity Act, as I told, it cannot allow private people to show interest. Okay, they will not be feeling like coming and investing in all these things because there are stock limit for the trader. So that has to be relaxed, and that is why this was amended, which I already told you. Okay, now agriculture marketing, if you see, from 2003 Union government had a model act. Okay, right from Vajpayee's government or early Congress government, they had model act. Okay, APMC Act, and it was given to the state assemblies. Okay, and then later it was again modified in 2017 and 18. Okay, model acts were given, but repeatedly after giving, if you see that it was not dismissive also, it was not welcoming also. States were not giving a proper response, but some states selected a few clauses, but others they did not tell it fully. And if you see, some states were following it also. Bihar then removed the complete APMC Act. Okay, Bihar is not under APMC. Okay, similarly you will see other examples also. I'll show you. Finally, what happened in 2020, Union government, you know, this government is like little, what to say, aggressive when it comes to implementing things. Okay, whether it's like triple talaq or any this Article 370, demonetization, GST, anything. They, if they decide to implement something, they will decide, they will do it. Okay, so finally, when there was no much response coming, Union government thought, okay, well, let's go ahead and implement it. That's how it quickly got implemented. But now different principles are violated when you implement like that. Okay, now this one is a homework for you, or in comment section you have to tell me. Simply you have to Google. Okay, you will get it. Entry 33 of the concurrent list Okay, this was what the union government used, invoke the entry 33 of the concurrent list, because this union and state both can make laws. But that was used and interfering with entry 14, 26 and 27 of the state list. Okay, so if you Google, you will get it. What is entry 14 of state list? You will get, okay, it will be agriculture or something, it will be there in state list. So these three things were touched in the name of touching entry 33 of concurrent list. This is what is one thing. Okay, again, if you see entry 28 of the state list, okay, which are not the subject of entry 33, was also touched. So these state things, how can center touch it? That is what is being questioned, okay, in a legal way. So this one you have to go and find out. Entry 14, 26, 27, 28 of state list, what it is, and entry 33 of concurrent list, what it is. Tell me in comment section. Okay, this is a homework for you. If you do that, only then you will understand the article properly. Okay, so please do it. I could have done it, but I want you to interact with me. Okay, so tell in comment section. And also, Supreme Court also did not act anything very seriously. They also formed a committee, but that committee had 4 persons, okay, and who publicly actually supported the farm laws. So the people, the farmers' organization, were not happy, because the committee you should make means you should make neutral, not those people who are already in support of the farm laws. Then what is the point of forming a committee? Okay, so that is why they distanced from that and they continued with their protest. Okay, and this is the way in which it is introduced. Now the content also, the content of the farm laws were also criticized. Okay, like Bihar example, as I told you, they don't have APMC Act now, but still private investment is not growing much, because the government's argument is that if you take away the APMC thing and then you do everything through private route, then investment will increase, right? But in Bihar, after taking the APMC Act also, investment did not increase. Same that in Kerala. Kerala never had an APMC Act from the starting itself. Okay, still the presence of private investment is lesser. Then what is the guarantee that you do bring all these things and then private investment will increase? This is the question they're asking. So the approach also they are questioning, the content also they are questioning. Okay, so Maharashtra also they are telling the fruits and vegetables were outside the ambit of these mandis, but still inflow of private investment is less. So 3 examples: Bihar, Maharashtra. Bihar is like they had the APMC, they removed it. Kerala, they did not have the APMC at all. Maharashtra, they had a selective kind of APMC. Still nowhere private investment increased. Okay, so these are the 3 best examples you should use. Now 2 more other problems were highlighted. One is, as I told, these mandi taxes are there. Mandi people will take a lot of money in the name of extra things. So that is a wrong thing. But what they are telling is these taxes are actually invested in all the rural infrastructure. So now, if suppose you weaken the mandis, okay, you stop these mandis kind of concept, or people go to private route, then this tax will reduce. Then what is the substitute for that? How will we improve rural infrastructure? This is what they are asking. Okay, even though answer is that private people will do the storage and all these things, but this is one question they are asking. Now, second one is, suppose private market emerge, how will they address the structural problem of poor farm gate aggregation of the produce of small and marginal farmers? Again, they're asking, like, one middleman will go away. Will you substitute that with another middleman, or will you substitute with another private people? What is the guarantee that all will have? So convincing, this is the word actually. Okay, it's not like law is bad or people are this thing. People could not understand it, and if the government could not implement it properly, okay, no point you having lot of schemes in paper if you cannot convince the people, if you cannot make them understand what it is, if you cannot answer their queries and such things, then there is no point of such schemes. Okay, schemes should be something which people should understand, people oriented. Okay, even the grievance redress mechanisms, people should not the contract farming and all, they do not understand under the contract farming whatever grievances are there. Like suppose the corporate people come and sign a contract and they cheat them or loot them and go away, what is the guarantee that who will address it, whether the courts will intervene or whether there is another thing, because it's led by some subdivisional magistrate and all. So that and all, they did not find it appeasing. It's not enough, they're telling. Okay, so it was feared that this may benefit corporate sponsors more than the contracting farmers. So if you see 4 or 5 reasons, you would have understood why this laws were not understood by the people and why they were protesting. Okay, finally, the overall thrust of the farm laws appeared to encourage the participation of larger corporate players, meaning instead of the farmers, it is going to encourage more corporate players, and they are the ones who are going to benefit, is what is told. Okay, because in this country, whenever you bring something, immediately you will tell, okay, you are selling it to Ambani, you are selling it to Tata, you are selling it to this group. So they don't understand what is capitalism. That is one thing, but that you had to convince the people, you have to take the confidence of the people whenever you implement any scheme. Okay, schemes can be good, schemes can be bad, but if people don't approve it, the government don't have the right, or the government don't have the authority to force it on them. Okay, so again, the farmers protest, it began in Punjab, then to Haryana, then it spread to western UP. Okay, like this, these were the areas. Then later it became a pan-Indian phenomenon. And then if you see, women also participated in large number. Then the community fault lines, if you know Mirzapur riot and all, they were Hindu Muslim, but even they all came together, and many were protesting this. So it helped in repairing all those problems which are there. Communal also, men, women coming together, the Pan India movement. So it was like everybody wanted to repeal it. So it is now finally repealed. So I hope you have understood all the farm laws. Now the second one is the POCSO Act. Okay, this again, it's about two cases which High Court actually announced a very blunder kind of judgment, which Supreme Court now has corrected. Okay, something which was error by the Bombay High Court, Nagpur bench, Supreme Court has corrected. Okay, about victim being having skin to skin contact or not. Okay, so I'll tell you two cases. Okay, one is a 12-year-old girl. Okay, they're telling that there was no skin to skin contact. The girl was touched or molested over her dress. Okay, so this is a very idiotic kind of clause which in section 7 of the POCSO Act, which the High Court judge is telling that assault will be counted only if there was actual skin to skin contact. If it is over the dress, if the girl is touched, it doesn't come under POCSO Act, and so that person was acquitted. That person was let free. Okay, acquitted two offenders. If you see, second one is a 5-year-old child. Okay, if you can see 5-year, 12-year means there itself that person should be taken and put in jail immediately. But still, okay. So 5-year-old child, if you see, like holding the hand, okay, the child is being touched also, and also like opening the zip of the pant and all. So this kind of things which you do in front of a child. Okay, so this is actually under sexual assault, but under POCSO Act the wordings were in such a way that it is written only if there is skin to skin contact it qualifies. Okay, it qualifies to be punished. So this was a very wrong judgment verdict. And so Attorney General, okay, you should know what is Attorney General of India, whether it's tell me in comment section whether it is a constitutional body, a statutory body. If it's a constitutional body, which article it comes under, like that, please tell me. Okay, these are the things which UPSC will ask you. So Attorney General of India took the initiative. Even the National Commission for Women questioned the court. And then when this all happened, Supreme Court did the best thing. They told this were like a very idiotic judgment which was given by the Bombay High Court, and we are reversing it. Okay, and the both of the people will be punished. This is what happened. Okay, so understanding the flaw, High Court did not understand this thing, and also it was out of sync. Okay, so this physical skin to skin thing is a very narrow way of looking this thing, because you should actually not misinterpret this. You have to see the sexual intent. Okay, not the what actually happened, whether intention was sexual, whether the intention was in a bad light, then that person is supposed to be arrested, and you have to understand it rather than reading just the wordings of the POCSO Act. Okay, so this law which was in favor of accused now is changed. Okay, an interpretation should not be destructive of the law's intention. This is what the Supreme Court judge told. Now this is what is there in the article. Now I'll tell you the this thing, POCSO Act in theory, okay, which is not there in the Hindu. I'm just telling you a few points. It was enacted to protect the children from offences of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography, with due regard for safeguarding the interest and well-being of children. It defines a child as a person below 18 years of age and regards the best interest and welfare of the child as a matter of paramount importance at every stage to ensure the healthy physical, emotional, intellectual, and social development of a child. So it's a very detailed kind of act. Okay, it defines also different forms of sexual abuse. It deems a sexual assault to be aggravated if, okay, under certain circumstances, right? If suppose the abused child is mentally ill, or if the abuse like who is committing is like a point of trust, meaning own family member or teacher or police or doctor, then it is considered like a very serious case. Okay, rather than a general case. If these two circumstances are there, it is considered as an aggravated serious case. Okay, and the police is having the role of child protectors whenever this investigation is going on. And also these kind of cases should be disposed within 1 year from the date of offences reported. Okay, not when it's committed, offences reported from that 1 year. Okay, it was amended in 2019 also to make stringent punishment. If you know, death penalty for sexual crimes and all, ordinance came, and then later amendment came. That was a good thing. Okay, then this is the theory. Now, one section 29 of POCSO Act was there in news last month. So that is why I am telling this also. It says that when a person is prosecuted for committing an offence of sexual assault against a minor, the special court trying the case shall presume the accused to be guilty. Okay, meaning usually we consider like the person is innocent till proven guilty. But in this section, it is told like if there is a offence against a minor, you are first itself considered guilty. Okay, then you have to prove that you are not guilty. Okay, that's a special exception. So section 29 of POCSO Act is a thing which was in news. You have to know. So this is the theory part also. So I have covered it in the dynamic and theory part now. Now the third and last article which we will discuss today is actually the article is not of any use. You have to understand some terms. One is NPA, non-performing asset. First thing you have to know what is asset, what is liability. Okay, so liability means something which is bank is liable, but asset means it is something which will come back to the bank. Suppose bank gives loan, bank is giving loan to people, it will come back, right? It will come back to the bank itself. So that is an asset for the bank. But sometimes that asset will become loss. That is when it becomes non-performing asset. That I'll explain you how it becomes non-performing asset. But you should first understand loan is a asset, but a bad loan is a non-performing asset. Okay. Liability means something which bank has to give back. Meaning you go and put your FD, you go and put your savings account. All these things the bank is liable. Okay. Bank has to give it back to you. Current account, savings account, FD, RD. These are all the money which your money bank is holding and they are liable to give you. So it's a liability. Okay. But loan is a asset. Okay. Now we see here loans are given by the banks. Okay. So it is like standard asset, regular asset, meaning there is no delay. People are like, you take a 100 rupee loan, you are giving interest, you are giving the everything back. It's all good. Okay. Standard asset. But sometimes it becomes stressed. That is 1 to 90 days of delay. That is, suppose 30 days have over, you are supposed to give the interest. Okay. But you did not, for 30 days, you did not give the interest. Okay. Then it is considered as SMA 0. SMA means special mention account. Okay, this account is like specially mentioned SMA 0. 30 days interest has not come. So bank is a little bit tense now. Now 60 days suppose over, then it is SMA 1. Then 90 days it's over, it is SMA 2. Okay, like this, it becomes up to this, it is okay. Okay, they don't take any action. But after 90 days, still the interest or the loan amount is not coming back. Okay, greater than 90 days delay, then it is classified as a non-performing asset. A normal loan becomes a non-performing asset when it is 90 days, nothing is coming back from the customer. Okay. Now again, there are more terms: substandard asset, doubtful asset, loss asset. Meaning this is just 90 days. Okay, that is 3 months. Now up to 12 months, it is still NPA. There is no news of the customer. Nothing is coming back. It's a substandard asset. Now again, after 12 months, greater than 12 months, if it's more than 1 year, there is no news. Then it's a doubtful asset. Meaning bank has now left the hope. It is doubtful. We are not going to get it back. Then after that, it becomes a loss asset, meaning we are not going to get this from this person. We have to take some strict action. Okay, this is how the banking terminology, basic terms, and this is all discussed already in our economics lectures and my test series in detail. So you have to enroll that. Okay, only then you will learn more. So this is called NPA. Okay. Now this actually, there is a former chairman, some Pradeep Chowdhury is arrested. So this case I'm not going to explain, it's of no use. But in this full passage of Hindu article, you will see these kind of terms. Okay, like that something became a non-performing asset, and then a debt recovery tribunal came in 2013. Then SARFAESI Act came. Then this it was allocated to a reconstruction company. Okay, meaning loan is there. They to recover, they will give it to a reconstruction company. Then later, National Company Law Tribunal came under this IBC Act. Then after that, the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal came. So it is going on since 2010 to 2017. This case is going on to trying to recover some 25 crore money. Okay, if you see 24 crore something was taken and it was not able to recover. So it was going. And the SBI chairman was in some way involved. Like you see in Harshad Mehta case and all, like the bank itself is finding loopholes to make profit. So that was involved and one person was arrested. So your idea is not to understand this case study. Your theory is what you have to focus. Okay, you have to study all these underlying terms in your theory part. Okay. So I'll show you a little bit theory, but remaining you have to study. Okay. This again, if you see, Debt Recovery Tribunal was introduced in 1993 following the Narasimha Committee. This is the major and most important committee you have to study. Okay. There is Narasimha Committee 1 also, 2 also. This is what revolutionized the complete banking reforms at the start. Okay. So this one you have to study from our lectures. Okay. I'm not going to explain here. Later, decade later, SARFAESI Act came. Okay. This is also for, if you see, intending to speed up the recovery. Okay. Bankers can recover the things from the people. Later, again, Insolvency Bankruptcy Code came, and that is now considered the most effective one. Okay, that I'll show you. Statistics I'll show you at the end of this slide. Okay, alert government and a regulator should move fast to close the gaps. So the government also, the RBI also, they have to work in tandem to finish off these NPA kind of cases. Okay, if you see the era before IBC in Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, before that we had this securitization and reconstruction of financial asset and enforcement of security interest act, SARFAESI. It's a very difficult term, I know. Sometimes in other CDS exams and all, they even ask you the full form. What is the correct full form of SARFAESI? But in UPSC civil service, they don't ask that. They have asked one. They have asked like SARFAESI was in news with respect to what? So answer was banking NPA reform, something like that. ABCD type question it was. It was a very direct question. So hopefully UPSC will not go to CDS level. They will not ask you full form, but still try to by heart it to write in your mains answers. Okay. Then after that, something called Recovery of Debts Due to Bank and Financial Institution Act 1993 came. Okay. Because sometimes UPSC will ask like compare all the banking reforms prior to IBC. Okay, like how is IBC better than previous reforms? How is IBC performing better than previous reforms? That time you will have to list down all these things. Okay, in a mains question. Then even there was Companies Act. Okay, Companies Act 2013, Companies Act 1955. They all help in winding up the company. Okay, the clauses will be there. So ineffective implementation conflict in one of these laws, and the time consuming procedure in the above mentioned laws. Okay, these are the reasons why which we had to group all these things together. Okay, and then we brought the insolvency and bankruptcy law bill. Okay, so the objectives, if you see pointers I'm giving you: consolidate and amend all existing laws. Okay, bring everything together, simplify and expedite the proceedings, then protect the interest of the creditor, meaning the one who give the loan, their interest should be protected, revive the company in a time bound manner, promote entrepreneurship, get the necessary relief to the creditors. Okay, consequently increase the credit supply, work out a new and timely recovery procedure. Okay, for everyone, for banks, financial institutes, individuals, set up a insolvency and bankruptcy board of India. Okay, IBBI. Then value of assets, this has to maximize, you have to recover maximum. Okay, now in Vijay Mallya's case and many things you would have seen, whatever he took loan, more than that we have recovered already through this IBC Act. Okay, so IBC is intended to put the debtor back on its feet. Okay, meaning if there is any chance of revival of the person, that also should be done. Okay, and whatever is need to be recovered, that also has to be recovered. Okay, now the ecosystem, what all it contains in a general like pointers I'm telling you, what all consist under insolvency and bankruptcy code. So here if you see, there is two things. One is NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal, and one is Debt Recovery Tribunal. Okay, so difference is this is for the big companies. Okay, the companies and the other limited liability entities. Okay, so companies, all the adjudicating authority is NCLT, and if it is other companies, okay, partnership firms, or if it is individuals, it will be through the Debt Recovery Tribunal. Okay, now then one more thing is there, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. I told you in the objectives we have to set up this. So this will be the apex body for promoting transparency and governance in the administration of the IBC. So this will be the main governing body. Okay, involving even in the setting up of infrastructure. And also now two terms you have to see, one is IPs and one is IUs, that is insolvency professionals and information utilities. So the name is very simple. Professional means the people. Okay, the people who are enrolled within this, they are the people who will sit and work on this resolution process. Okay, the professionals. And utility means it's like a repository. Okay, we have a portal or a platform where all the information of all the creditors, their their history, their everything, their history of like how, whether they'll repay it back. Okay, that one, that will be listed in this utilities. So utilities, professionals, and everything infrastructure is governed by this body. And then we have two types of tribunals. Okay, this is the ecosystem. Okay, now this again same thing. Okay, the NCLT will be providing corporate insolvency and helping us resolute all these things. Whatever is there, we'll bring a resolution. Now this is an interesting line in their about me page. It will be written, IBC is like shift from existing debtor in possession to creditor in control, meaning the banks are now in control and they can recover it. No matter who cheats, the bank can go, they are in more control now. That is the intention of the IBC. In one line you can start. There's an opening line which you can use for any IBC related question. Okay, so it is consolidating all the laws together, amending multiple legislation. Okay, resolving in a strict time bound manner. So this also you have to know. In 180 days you have to finish the recovery process. Okay, 180 days. And if you see, it is extendable up to 270 days. That is 180 plus half of it, 180 plus 90, 270 days in case of a company. Okay, big company. Now, if it's suppose startup and small company, instead of 180 days, you have to do it in 90 days and extendable by half of it, 90 plus 45. Okay, so like that. Big company is 180 days, small company 90 days. Extend by extra 90 days, extend by extra 45 days. Like that, if you by heart it together, it's very easy. Okay, and the results also, if you see, financial creditors witnessed a recovery rate of 43% under IBC resolution process. Okay, but in existing DRT or SURF-IC, the earlier one which we had, okay, in that only 20% recovery was there. So obviously you can understand IBC is a better form, right? So this again in more detail you have to study. This is just to make you understand quickly for beginners, I told you. Else you have to study more and more case studies, more and more theories, more about SURF-IC, and before SURF-IC, Narsimhan Committee. Many things are there. Okay, this and all. Watch our lectures and please enroll to test series. We have 5 economics tests, 500 MCQs, which will explain you everything what you need. Okay, questions come directly from our test series. This time also whatever theory part came, everything was solvable from my test series. Okay. So this is the lecture for today. Hope it was like a lot of knowledge enriching kind of session, because many things are theory part. Okay, it's not the current affair part which we discussed. And please contact in Instagram, Telegram, wherever you are available, and WhatsApp me today itself, because the more delay you do, you will feel like exam is very much near and you will not be able to clear. Okay, mains test series is beginning on December 19th. So if you are not enrolled, enroll fast. Then for 2-3 months you will be writing answers with me. I will be evaluating and you will be in a very much more confident position. Okay, so subscribe and contact us. I'll wind up now. Thank you and have a nice day.